The Darwin Triple Crown has been and gone, with some shock twists and the parity emergency becoming more and more apparent. Hidden Valley saw the return of two surprising winners, a safety car due to a bushfire, and some serious championship ramifications. Let's wrap up the weekend with some instant gratification. Now, before we get too deep into the video, and there is a lot to unpack here, I just wanted to bring up something. In the past, I've said that Supercars social media needs to do a better job because it's just underwhelming, especially in comparison to stuff like Formula 1 and IndyCar. But for once, they've actually put out an amazing TikTok video. And this, like, the editing on this, it's perfect. And it really encapsulates the Indigenous round, showcasing the liveries, which, by the way, the Indigenous liveries this year, insane. Nearly every team put up their best efforts on the platter, maybe except for Erebus. There's a few others that are a bit iffy, but there are such improvements, especially, for example, the Matt Stone racing team. Last year, not the best. This year, straight up one of the best. And I don't want to say it's the reason they got the win, but to me, it is. Now, if you're living under a rock, you might not know what happened this weekend, but Matt Stone Racing got their first ever victory as a team, with Jack Brocq, now a two-time Supercars race winner. There's always been an asterisk next to his first win, you know, tyre conditions 2020 doesn't really count, but now he's a two-time race winner, and this one was a great race from him. He was able to hold off Heimgartner and Feeney in a much faster car as well, and deliver the win to Matt Stone Racing. And he's been there or thereabouts this whole season. He's done well. Tasmania, he was right on the front row, you know. He was fighting for the win. And here he's just dominated for it. And it's not only that, Team 18 with their first win as well. Winterbottom back on the top step. It's been a while. It's been a few years since he got his last victory. But finally seeing him win, not in a Holden as much I would have liked it, but he's in a Camaro, he got the win. Team 18, victors at last. When it looked likely in 2020 and 2021, they had a few rounds where they were strong contenders, but they've finally done it. They've both finally gotten their first maiden victories in Darwin, especially in a series where so far Triple Eight and Erebus have looked so dominant. And to touch on that, Erebus this weekend has really been their first, you know, footfall in the series championship so far. Both Will Brown and Brodie Kostecki were relatively off the pace. There was the first round without a podium, and Brodie Kostecki in the last race, you know, he got that damage. He was really just cruising around to try and get minimum points. I think it was 18 points in the end. And even Will Brown, you know, he wasn't where you would have expected. He got that penalty for that contact with Winterbottom as he came out of the pits. It was a very sloppy weekend from Erebus. The one thing I will say about Erebus is that they were able to get Brodie Kostecki's car back out after that damage, and he was able to run some laps to get those few points, which goes to show the repairability of these Gen 3 cars is pretty good, especially when you look at Waters' incident. Yet another car going up in flames, this time through a team error and not a car error itself. You still don't want to see this happening. Like this fireball, this inferno, pretty scary, especially as it was mentioned on Twitter that a few of these parts failed and caused the car fire to be a lot worse than it actually was. But somehow Tickford pulled through, and they were actually able to fix this car overnight. So while there is a lot of damage going on, while these cars do look easy to break, and there are these fires which, you know, you don't want to see in the series, it does go to show that the repairability of these cars is quite good, and good on the Tickford boys. Like, they've had a hard year this year. James Courtney twice, Cam Waters now. They're killing it. They're bringing these cars back when nobody thinks that they could. Insane. Pat on the back for them. One team who will not be patting themselves on the back this weekend is Penrite Racing, who have at times been the fastest team of all the Ford teams. They've had a few issues that have just hampered them. Reynolds and Payne have had a few driver mistakes, and they're just not where you'd expect them to be. Really sloppy weekend for them, and I think they'll be hoping that they can do a bit better in the next few weekends to come. Now, of course, it's not just sloppy driving that is causing Penrite, or rather all the Fords to be sort of out of the results. And I think it's time that we address the elephant in the room properly. I think that it's time that we discuss parity, because it is quite clearly becoming an issue. I don't know how to word this in a way that doesn't anger at least one fan base, but there is an issue. These cars aren't exactly equal. And it's not a big difference, trust me. It does not appear to be a big difference, but it's enough that it's uncompetitive. If you look at Waters and you look at Mostert, they're not drivers that you think should be out of the championship by now. They're strong, good championship contenders, and they're already falling well behind, just, out of nowhere. Now, the results on Sunday showed a P1 to P9, all one manufacturer. Something that's only been done once in Australian motorsport history, if memory serves me correct. And it's not looking better if you look at the race winners. There's only one race that Ford have won, and they had not finished first. It was only that Red Bull got disqualified. It's clear that there's an issue, right? You don't get these results without one. And I'll be going more in detail in a future video. I know I've said it a few times, but things keep changing so much that I have put off a video. But now I'm in the process of making one, and it should be out later this week. But seriously, if you didn't watch this race, look at the results and you'll see that there is something wrong. Now, other than the manufacturer's results, the weekend was pretty good. We had some exciting racing, and not only that, we've had a lot of sort of clean racing. There hasn't been a safety car that's been called for a racing incident in so long. The only two safety cars we had this weekend were for fire, Cam Waters, and then in one of the races, there was a genuine bushfire that was caused by a car going off the track and then coming back very fast that just caused a yellow flag because there was a bushfire out on the inside of turn 1, which is such a Darwin thing, that would only happen up north, right? As well as that, there appeared to be a fire in the distance. I don't know if anybody else caught that on cams. It was very strange, but you could see it when they had up at the hairpin in the middle of the track, just up in the distance. I don't know what that was. But another thing, pit lane incidents, they're still happening. Supercars needs to come down hard on these, and I can't stress that enough. They need to fine so hard so that it doesn't happen again. Closing the pit lane is always brought up, but man, they literally just need to fine these teams so much harder than they already do, just to stop this from happening. It's like the Murphy incident. 5 minutes ensures that nobody else will ever do it. Other than those few things, great weekend, good racing. You might have something else to say if you're a Ford fan, of course, understandable. But I think up north, Supercars were relatively batting at their best, and this round has gone to show that these cars can be really entertaining on track. Gen 3 is doing well other than in parity. Now we're getting to the end of the video, and you know what that means. It's time for the winners and losers. And our first winner today is going to be Team Maiden and Matt Stone Racing, for obvious reasons. I don't think I have to go too in depth with it. Matt Stone Racing and Team Maiden both got their first victories this weekend. Great results for them. Our second winner, Andre Heimgartner. He was there or thereabouts the whole weekend, P2 and P3 in the two races on the Sunday. What a lovely result for BJR. And obviously our final winner, Broc Feeney. Broc Feeney's doing so well this year. I think they've chosen the right driver to replace Jamie Whincup. It's clear to me that he's becoming a championship contender, and if Triple Eight play their cards right in the next few years, he's probably going to win a championship or two as well. So, fair go. Now we're up to our losers, and it's hard to start this list with anyone other than Ford. It's become more apparent than ever this weekend that there is an issue, it needs to be solved, and all the Ford bosses right now are pressing the panic button. It's not what you want to see. It's not what I want to see as a Holden and now Chevrolet fan. I want to see them doing well. It's pretty sad in my opinion. Obviously, I want to extend another mention to Grove Racing. It's a terrible weekend for them. They really can capitalize on these results, become one of the teams that sort of, gets there or thereabouts. They are one of the better Ford teams, and this weekend just has been such a poor showing for them. As well as that, they took out Jack Smith, which I am not happy about. who I also want to say has had a poor weekend. I mean, multiple incidents, not necessarily his fault. He got bundled wide, he got spun around, and he was trying to avoid incidents ahead of him. But like, rough weekend when you look at the results that Andre Heimgartner is getting. As well as that, special mention, Superview users, Superview subscribers, anyone outside of Australia who was trying to watch Supercars. I think during race 13, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but during race 13 there was outage, which I had a Winterbottom fan in my Discord, loves the guy, and he wasn't able to watch Winterbottom win because of the Superview issues. If you're gonna ask people to pay that much to watch Supercars, you need to be on it. You need to be solving those issues. You need to be sort of providing your fans with the best service. And outages, just, it's not it. That's a very poor way to treat your fans, especially fans who have been watching for a while and are fans of Frosty. They missed out on something truly magical, and I'm upset for them. I don't know what more to say. But anyway, that's the instant gratification. That's the wrap up of the weekend. There is a parody video, should be coming out Friday. Don't hold me to that. It might come out this weekend. We'll see when. Thank you all for watching. If you do have anything, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.